Hello, and welcome to the newest edition of our weekly Cyber Corner Chat. My name is Melanie Padron, aka your go-to cybersecurity girl. As always, I'm joined by Cybersecurity Officer Marcus Trachier. IT Architects is a managed service provider with a security-first mindset, which is just one of the things that makes us different than some of the other shops out there. We joke, we're cybersecurity evangelists. And I kind of say that with a wink because our job is to tell the truth about what's happening in the cyber world. And that's usually not a pretty picture, but we're on a mission to protect people and businesses in this great country of ours. And much of that comes through education and increasing awareness, because when you know better, you do better. So Marcus, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm not thrilled with the rainy weather that Texas brought us today, but otherwise I'm having a good day.
I know, it was 90 degrees on Sunday,
Yeah.
and it was 41 with, I don't want to say snow flurries, but I'll say sleet this morning.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What happened? Well, I'm excited about our topic today. We are talking about, and this is just fun to say, smishing. And we have two real-life recent scams to show you that I actually received in the last week. And we're going to go step by step through each element of those, showing just exactly where those red flags are so that people can start to know how to spot them and avoid them. So, I mean, I think most people are familiar with phishing email scams, but you know, criminals, they don't slow down, they don't stop, they evolve, and so now, of course, they're using our phones, right? And so smishing is just a type of cyber attack that involves phishing attempts, but they're carried out through SMS or text messages. So the term smishing, let's just all say it together, smishing. It comes from a combination of SMS and phishing. And in smishing attacks, typically cyber criminals use the text messages to trick people into providing all different kinds of things like sensitive information, personal information, click on this malicious link, download this harmful attachment, you know, whatever. It's the same type of scam in the email. Now they're using our phones for it, right? Okay, so let's go ahead. We can pull up this first example here, and let's just like walk through this. So received two.
Yes.
And okay, so this first one, this is an actual screenshot of the text message from my phone. And the first thing, Marcus, you always tell me about unsolicited messages. Be politely paranoid when it comes to receiving a message of any kind that you didn't solicit. And so up here at the top, I noticed that this came from Microsoft, which looked really legit to me. I was like, well, okay, maybe, you know, and it's spelled correctly. I listened to what you tell me. I looked for any misspellings, but it's spelled properly, Microsoft Office admin. So that part, I felt past the test. But then I got down here into the message of it, and all of a sudden, my password is set to expire in 3 days. So there's this like sense of urgency. I only have 3 days to fix this. And so I think the whole sense of urgency and 3 days thing is a big, big clue for people. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, the sense of urgency is always a tactic that they're going to use. Mm-hmm. Just influencing you to click or do whatever they're hoping that you do. So,
yeah.
But a password, you know, you do get legitimate password notifications with the same level of urgency. So, you know, just look at it cautiously.
Yes, just look at it cautiously. This is one clue. Like we're investigating here. And you know what I noticed at the end of the sentence, first of all, your password. Look at the capitalization there. Your is the beginning of a sentence, so it should be capitalized. But password shouldn't. That's not correct. And then it says, is set to expire in 3 days, and there's no ending punctuation on this at all. So the misrepresentation of the capitalization and the missing ending punctuation were two things that immediately caught my attention.
Yeah.
Because grammatical errors are a big deal in these types of scams, right?
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Okay. And I think the other big one you might be getting at is the URL that they're having you click. But yeah.
Yep. So as we move down the message where it says tap, and then there's a link. I don't know where this link goes, but it's telling me to tap here to keep current password. So there is a suspicious link, which is another thing that people need to be aware of, suspicious links, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's even just look at the spelling and the capitalization down here. Just past the link, it says here to keep current. Well, current shouldn't be capitalized. And then there's this weird blank space and the word password, which password shouldn't be capitalized. And then, almost to make up for the missing punctuation from the previous sentence, this one has 2 punctuations, both a period and an exclamation point. So just in the wording and in the grammatical mistakes here, I think that this is very, very suspicious. The next thing I noticed at the bottom is that even my phone is trying to give me a heads up here. My phone says, this sender is not in your contact list. Do you want to report junk? So even my phone is kind of like, I don't know about this message. So that was another clue for me as well. So is there anything here that I have missed? Like it's the unknown sender, the suspicious link, the grammatical errors, the unsolicited message. What would happen if I clicked on this link though? What's it going to do?
Yeah, we're not positive on this one. I actually didn't analyze this one, but I will say you can just look at the link and tell what they're trying to do, which is it says Microsoft password in the subdomain, and then the domain is not Microsoft related. It's servemp3.com. Okay. So they're trying to hide what the actual domain is by using a subdomain with Microsoft and password in the subdomain. So it's just a trick tactic there.
Microsoft password looks legit to me.
Right.
But past the dot, the serve.
Yeah. So that's where you always want to pay attention to the domain. And I think we've shared, I don't know if we did or not, but just the anatomy of the domain. There's the subdomain is basically you can make it whatever you want. The domain is the actual legitimate part that has to be registered with the domain provider.
So it's the subdomain is past the dot, the period. That's the subdomain.
Yeah, the subdomain is the first thing you see in this instance. It's Microsoft password is the subdomain. The domain is servemp3.
Okay, got you. Thanks for that. Okay, so this is just fishy all over the place. It's just suspicious all over the place. So let's go to the next example. This one I received like just yesterday.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh, you got it.
Okay, so I feel like everyone has probably received a text or an email from UPS, USPS, any Amazon, any one of the delivery services. This is so common, especially because we just came out of the holidays. And these, we all order from Amazon every day. Well, some of us. But especially at the holidays, I feel like people order more off Amazon. And so these types of scams are super common. A lot of people recognize them. But once again, let's look at the top here. What is this name? AMON Richard at iCloud. Now, the body of the text tells me it's from USPS. Why would it be coming from an iCloud address? If USPS is really sending me a message, isn't that address going to reflect USPS?
Yeah, it would. Well, it's unlikely that they would send you a text message from an email.
Right.
If you have set up some sort of text notifications, it will probably come from a recognizable or known USPS number.
Yeah. Okay, so once again, it tells me my package has arrived at the warehouse, but oh no, it can't be delivered due to an incomplete address. And it's asking me to please confirm my address by clicking on the link. Have to do it within 12 hours though. So, sense of urgency. I have to do this within 12 hours or I'm not going to get my package. But wait, I honestly, right now, this is probably rare, but right now I don't remember ordering anything that should be delivered. So yesterday, I was like, I actually didn't order anything lately. Rare, but true. But also, the fact that I would have to do that within 12 hours created like this sense of urgency in me, like, oh, I better investigate this. I better figure out what it is. Also, it's telling me that it needs me to confirm my information. So if I click on this suspicious link here, I'm going to have to give it what? My personal information, right?
Yep.
Well, so one of the red warning flags is that you never want to give your personal information by clicking on a link. If you really, really think you have a package delivered that needs to be delivered, what should you do, Marcus? How can you go and verify?
Oh, I mean, the best thing to do would be to go to the vendor website directly. So whether it's Amazon or USPS, if you have the tracking number, take that and plug it in.
So if I really, really wanted to know, I should go to USPS's site.
Yes.
And try to verify the information that way, or call the phone number off their website directly, which we don't do that anymore, but verify it independently. Don't do it by clicking on the link. Never, never, never.
Right.
Okay. And then look at the second screenshot here. It says, please reply why, then exit the SMS, open the SMS activation link again, or copy the link to Safari browser and open it. There's a lot.
They really want you to go to that link, is what they want.
They really want me to go to that link, don't they?
Yeah.
And, if you're looking at this, I know it's really hard, but we're being politely paranoid. We're being suspicious. I noticed that the end of that sentence has no punctuation on it again. So that's super suspicious to me. And then the bottom sentence, how kind of them. The U.S. Postal Team wishes you a wonderful day. No punctuation. So I just feel like both of these are very similar. They have a lot of the same things going on.
Yes.
Once again, unsolicited message, urgent request, grammatical errors, requesting my personal information, and an unknown sender. All right, so can you take us to this link and let's find out what they want?
So once you sent this to me yesterday, I was like, let's see what they actually are trying to accomplish here. Yeah. So I'm using this malware analysis tool called AnyRun. And
this is why you are my favorite superhero on the planet. You are so good at this. Let's check it out.
Yeah, so let's run this through. I've already done this a couple times, but we can go through it and you can see what I found. Okay. Let me know. You should be able to see everything, but I'm actually going to take this out of Internet Explorer and open up Edge. Okay. Seems to work better in Edge.
All right.
And then enter that URL.
All right, so we're going to the URL that it wanted us to. We don't recommend.
Yes, and this is not something you would want to do on any sort of machine that you're actually using. This is totally isolated from our network, and it's a analysis tool used to track down malware and things like that. So it'll nuke itself after we finish.
Okay.
So it's taking a second to load.
So is this one of those things where we kind of say, don't try this trick at home?
Yes, I would say that, yes. Don't try this.
Okay.
But of course, it's taking a moment.
Oh, technology, it's the best.
Yeah.
So this is a super sleuth hacker site that you know about where we can go and safely put in this address to try to figure out and give everybody an example of what these guys are actually, what these criminals are hacking. Oh, look at this site. It looks so legit.
So it's loaded up. All right. So this is the first page that you get to here. And I think something interesting is that all of these links here are legitimate USPS links.
Oh.
So the only the URL or the domain up here is the malicious domain.
Okay.
Or suspected malicious domain, and then USPS is all down here. So if we click here, it remains on the same .top domain, which it's common knowledge that those are typically malicious. .top, so that's another thing to watch out for. But again, it pushes us to a very legitimate looking USPS.com site.
It does.
So they essentially have scraped the entire website and put it on their own domain. And all these links link right back to USPS.com. So everything here looks legitimate.
It does.
Yeah. But what they're wanting you to do here is, obviously it says delivery failed, addressee unknown. So it wants you to check if redelivery is available for your address. So let's just put in some dummy information and see what it's going to do. I just want to get to this next page.
Mm-hmm. It looks so legit.
And see what they're actually. So they would probably be gathering your information here. And then when you go to this page, they are getting billing information.
Now they want you to give. Oh.
Yeah. So and again, recognize you're still on this domain up here, the .top. You're not on USPS.com.
Okay.
And so they're obviously wanting you to pay this 30-cent charge now.
30 cents?
Right.
What's that about?
Likely they will charge you for that 30 cents, and then they'll probably hit you with another charge, or they'll just hang on to that information and use it in the future. So that's what they're collecting, payment information. I will say I didn't recognize any malware or anything downloading in the background when I ran through this. So it might just be it's an information collection scam, or trying to get your credit card information.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say that it didn't appear that there was any malware running in the background or anything like that. But
so if they get your personal information here, if you put in your credit card number, they can take that and do all different kinds of fraud and scams and identity theft and all different kinds of criminal activity.
And they would have collected your correct address for billing. So yeah, it could get pretty bad as soon as you submit this information. So
wow, this is such a great exercise. How eye-opening. So on that initial USPS page, everything, all the other links were legitimate, but just that one.
All these privacy policy terms of use.
Yeah.
And this is the other cool thing. It'll actually give you screenshots of everything we looked at. But yeah.
Wow. And then they want you to pay them 30 cents. And by paying them the 30 cents to have your package delivered, they then have your correct address, they have your credit card information, everything they need to go commit some other type of crime, right?
That's exactly right. Yep.
Wow. Really, really tricky. I'm so thank you for showing us this.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I thought that would be helpful to see what they actually are trying to accomplish once they do get you to click on that link.
It really is. I hope that, I guess the moral of the story here is, if the message is unsolicited and the domain is unfamiliar, then at the end of the day, what's our little catchphrase? Be politely paranoid. Don't trust it, right?
Absolutely.
And so if anyone encounters these red flags, what should they do? Delete it and then avoid engaging with the sender? Like just delete the message?
Yeah, I think blocking and reporting as junk. Now, I don't know I'm sure that USPS has like a fraud. I haven't looked it up, but I would imagine that they have something that they're probably aware of scams like these. So you could potentially report to them as well. But yeah, that's just something, to keep in mind.
Yeah. If you're unsure about the legitimacy of the message, contact the company directly using their official site and information. Yeah. You know, 95% of attacks, we say this a lot, we use the statistic, 95% of attacks are due to human error. And social engineering is just one of the ways that criminals capitalize on our weaknesses. We're humans, and so we're susceptible to emotions. And so anytime you start to feel emotional, like you're missing out on something, you're missing a delivery, you only have a certain amount of time, those are just social engineering tactics that, you know, depending on a normal day when I'm calm, cool, and collected, I recognized all of those things. But if I had been upset, if I had been in a hurry, if I'd been driving, if there'd been something going on with one of my boys, I may have reactively clicked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what social engineering is, right?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Trying to catch you at those busy, you know, low moments, whatever it is, to try to take advantage. Separate you from your money in some form.
Yes. Well, good chat, Marcus. I think that's about it. Do you have anything else before we close up today?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay, well, so that's it for our cyber chat today. I hope that you found value in what we've discussed. If you have, please like, comment, and share. This helps more people see the content that we create, which means that more businesses and the people behind those businesses are safe. If you need help creating an employee awareness training program to improve your overall cyber resiliency of your people and your company, then reach out. Schedule a complimentary strategy session with our cyber team today. And until next week, I hope that we will all see you on the safe side.